it can meet its potential. So I'm going to read from an article. I'm going to read so you and I can get the drift, the gist of what these political parties, are trying to do. Now, according to the Daily Trust newspaper, it says the People's Democratic Party, the New Nigeria's People's Party, and 5 other political parties have formed a coalition. Involved in the coalition are the African Democratic Congress ADC, the Allied People's Movement APM, the Social Democratic Party SDP, the Young Progressives Party YPP, and the Zenith Labour Party ZLP. Now, the movement tagged the Coalition of Concerned Political Parties, CCPP, was formed in Abuja yesterday at a meeting attended by leaders of the 7 political parties at the National Secretariat of the SDP. Now, a former vice president and presidential candidate of the PDP in the 2023 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, had last month asked the opposition parties to come together to wrestle power from the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. Now, speaking when he hosted the National Executive Committee of the Inter-Party Advisory Council Nigeria IPAC in his house on November 14, Atiku had warned against the likelihood of Nigeria slipping to a one-party state and asked the opposition to close ranks. Now, addressing journalists after the meeting of the 7 political parties, the chairman of SDP, Shehu Gabam, clarified that the coalition is neither a merger nor was against the Inter-Party Advisory Council IPAC. Also speaking at the meeting, the acting national secretary of the PDP, Setonji Koshodo, who represented the acting party's national chairman, Umar Damagam, explained the coalition wants to offer strong opposition for the good of Nigeria. Our duty is to offer alternative solutions to government policies. ADC also spoke through its national chairman, Chief Raf Wonsu, who said the idea behind the coalition is to strengthen our democracy. We have seen that people in government are trying to stiffen viable opposition. Equally, APM National Chairman Yusuf Dantale said there were other parties in the coalition that were not at the meeting. All right, you get the gist. I can't keep on reading, but you get the gist, and I'm asking and I'm wondering, what do you make of this coalition? Now, given the situation of things in Nigeria, given the economic situation of things in Nigeria, given the security state of things in Nigeria, do you think we need such coalition, as it is called, such coming together of opposition parties, not for election's sake, as they have mentioned, but to be able to together in one voice, in one accord, put the government on our toes and ensure that the government does what is right by the Nigerian people or Nigerian populace. I'd like to get your thoughts on that big story, but let's get on and move on to the next big story. And the next big story, oh my goodness, it's something that I would like to term an allegation. And there's a reason I'm terming it an allegation because, I'll tell you. Now, Oshiomhole, in one of the committee, I think he's heading that committee meetings, said that foreign prisoners are brought into Nigeria as laborers and they are paid in foreign minimum wage. That's what Oshiomhole said. He said that the companies, the contractors that refuse to, focus on Nigerian labor force and have decided to bring in cheaper labor. Is it cheaper now? But, prisoners from, their countries, their various countries, and then they pay them the minimum wage of the various countries. Now, let's go to that story so you could hear from the horse's mouth. So the article is on Daily Post, and the Edo North Senator Adams Oshiomhole has alleged that foreign prisoners are working in construction sites in Nigeria. Now, Oshiomhole, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Interior, disclosed this when the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, appeared before the National Assembly Joint Committees on Interior for a budget defense session yesterday. He said these prisoners working in construction sites in Nigeria are paid the minimum wage of their countries. Oshiomhole therefore urged the minister to regulate the issuance of quotas to foreigners. He said, balance it, balance so that Nigerians can also, be in that mix and enjoy similar benefits. And if you're paying minimum wage to foreigners, it should be at par with what, Nigerian laborers are getting. I guess that's what he meant by it should be regulated. Let's quote, your ministry needs to regulate the issuance of the quotas very well, as I have it on good authority that prisoners from foreign lands are working in Nigeria as construction workers. Many non-Nigerians are in the country. Some of them live inside containers. They were being paid according to their country's minimum wage by the construction industry that brought them. I don't want to mention the companies' names, but if I am provoked, I will mention them. And so that's why I brought this on the show. I'm wondering if we have the ability and the capacity to provoke Oshiomhole so that he can name these companies. Because, look at what's happening in the UK. In the UK, there are people who have entered illegally, not just Nigerians, now immigrants who have gone to that country illegally. And now they're looking at coming up with a policy that will deport them to Rwanda. So they have strict laws when it comes to illegal migrants. So why can't we do the same? Why is it always different when it comes to Nigeria? And besides, given the economic situation in the country, we need as many jobs provided for locals as possible. As many jobs, one, it will help the fight against insecurity. Two, it will help boost the economy of the country. Three, it would also strengthen the naira if more people are employed and paid in naira. These things are not rocket science, I guess. And another reason why we need more locals employed, I tell you, the economic situation is very bad. And this brings us to the next big story. And the next big story has got to do with P&G makers of Always. For ladies, you know what Always is. Always, the pod. Yeah. Ariel, for the detergent, a lot of us use that. And Oral B are exiting, the maker is exiting Nigeria. And according to some of the publications on this story, about 5,000 jobs to be lost. Interesting. P&G makers of Always, Ariel and Oral B exit Nigeria. About 5,000 jobs lost, according to the report. Now, I'm going to quickly summarize this because I think I should open the phone lines early today. What that story, or what the report is saying, is that this company is saying it is easier to import than to do local production. And that has put me in a big state of confusion. And then it reminds me of, what the marketers in the oil industry said one time, that even though our local refineries work, it may not reduce the cost of petrol. And why it reminds me of that is because P&G, was doing some of the manufacturing or production processes in the country. However, they say they were running at a loss due to, one, the devaluation of the naira. Given that they have an international market, they were not making gains. I think Nigeria and Argentina. And so they came up with, the solution that all they have to do is produce these things elsewhere and import them into the country. Think about that. That is appointed to the current state of our economy, and they're not the first. The drug companies, GlaxoSmith, if I remember very well now, they also left not too long ago. Before now, we had what's the name of this? I think the mall. Is it? I think it's a mall. It has to do with mall and shopping and all. They also, planned, or did they? I think they did exit Nigeria at the time. So when we look at all of these things, companies are leaving, and they say it's because it's a difficult market in Nigeria. And of course, the people do not have the purchasing power. The naira is not as strong as it should. There is not enough jobs everywhere. And I do not think it's time for us to be playing politics. I do not think it's time for us to be, it's Tinubu, it's Obi, it's Wike, it's Fubara. I don't think it's time for us to be arguing all of that. And that's why, yet again, the political situation in Beverly State is alarming. It calls for concern, because the state governors and even the local government would have to put their hands on deck to ensure that we make our economy thrive. We're looking for foreign investors. The investors we have are leaving. They're packing up and leaving. Do you know what it means that, a detergent or a toothpaste that is used by a lot of Nigerians will now be imported? It doesn't go well for the economy. I'm not an economist, but I mean, yet again, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. So what is your thought? What is your take? What are you thinking? I'd like to know. But if you want to read the story, you can go on Business Day. The caption, P&G Nigeria exits, ends 5,000 jobs. P&G Nigeria exits, ends 5,000 jobs. So I could just maybe read 2 paragraphs. Okay, let's. So the exit of Procter & Gamble, a multinational consumer goods company in Nigeria, could result in a loss of over 5,000 jobs and a major decline in foreign investments into Africa's most populous nation. Now, this comes after GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Nigeria, another multinational, announced plans in August to exit the country after 51 years of operations. GlaxoSmithKline has operated, or did operate, up until its exit, 51 years. P&G, Procter & Gamble, that is, has operated for 30 years, 3 decades. And this company is leaving. They're saying it's no longer a viable market in Nigeria. So I'm going to quote them. It says the impact of the market on the company's overall net worth is due to 2 key factors: intensified competition within the industry and a declining consumer purchasing power. That is according to Muda Yusuf, the Chief Operating Officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, who told Business Day yesterday. Right, so that's my cue to open the phone lines. So I'm just going to reel out the numbers: 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. And for those of you who, I don't know, you probably are in your vehicle, or you are in a taxi, or you are in a shop or a supermarket or anywhere, and you're listening and you say, oh, these people are always talking about politics. Politics is boring. Politics is this. Politics is that. It's a dirty game. I'll encourage you to begin to have interest in politics, because when we get here things like, the last big story, then we know that there is fire on the mountain and nobody is on the run. And it's that time when we begin to take serious the issues, the policies that are being made by those in power. It's that time. It's whether at the local government level, whether at the state government level, whether at the federal government level, whether at the various arms of government. This is the time when all of Nigerians must rise. Not violently. I've never been a violent one. I've always been a peacemaker. But must rise intellectually, must rise mentally, must rise emotionally, and ensure that passionately they follow up governance and ensure that the right things are being done. Because once again, the fact that these companies are moving may underline that, may be the true indicator of the current state of our economy. 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003. Those are the call numbers. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. And let's talk for development if we can. I've got Akere from Buri. Akere, welcome on the show. Let's talk.
Is it unfair P&G as a company, I will tell you, is very unfortunate.
Okay.
Because we are expecting industries to be established so as for job creation to happen. But the reverse is the case. I'm telling you, the pronouncement of Mr. President on May 29 is having negative effect on the economy. I'm telling you, it will take years for us to recover from this shock we are experiencing.
All right.
After the declaration of removal of petroleum subsidy, you see that the prices of commodities in the market skyrocketed, such that there is no control measure in place, and everything is on the high side. Not long ago, we saw that GSK, GlaxoSmithKline company that produces drugs, they left, and immediately after they left, the prices of drugs skyrocketed.
Of course.
So what kind of economy, what kind of situation have we found ourselves in? And our political leaders are thinking towards that direction. Look at the case of River State. Government is at a standstill because of the interest of few individuals at the expense of the generation of the masses. So listen, I don't know what we should do. Because they are not even thinking in that direction to revamp the economy.
All right.
It's quite unfortunate what we are saying.
All right, then.
Unfortunate. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Kingsley from Port Harcourt. Kingsley, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay, I think on the issue of P&G existing Nigeria, I'm a businessman.
All right.
I know what it means. Let me just you are editing P&G, DSA, and for a very long time. So anything for what are we looking for? When the ones we are living, who will come from the moon? People.
Thank you, Kingsley. Clinton from Borough, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, the creation of I think it's very correct.
When you say easy correct, how do you mean?
You know that between their own and our own. And again, our own, I want that here, I do not have a scheme.
All right.
So that if they leave the prison now, they can actually make a better life out of everything. Then finally, the shocking news of P&G leaving Nigeria, I think every Nigerian should be worried that companies are leaving the country. Jobs will be lost. The jobs that we don't have, we are now losing it. So I think the country, the government today, stand up and ensure that the government policy is in place. Should everybody to invest in the country so they can come to Nigeria and invest in the country.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I've got Clement from NTA Road. Clement, welcome. What is on your mind? Let's hear your thoughts, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Callaghan. Yeah. My interest is in, even though things like this are what we have spoken about, this should I say, without looking at tomorrow, we just want to take what we have now. And let me also say, because when I talk like this, I usually say that I'm not a prophet of doom. But trust me, a lot of them are already on their way out of Nigeria. So now, of course, we are talking about development. What is the solution? I'm going to tell you that if we sit down, fold our hands, and be watching, honestly, just like it happened in the Bible, we might start eating our children. It's sad news, but there's we might eat them literally, but we are doing it in a way that they eat our children now as we speak. Yeah, of course, we are news now. It's not a good grant for investment. Even the SNE, go work for that. You see, shops are closing. You can't even operate your simple SNE.
All right, Clement, I've got to go. I get your point, but I've got to go now. I've got Ilumba waiting for me at Silari. Ilumba, welcome.
My credit is not finished.
Sorry about that. Welcome. Sorry about that. Oh my. Okay. Let's read some messages. Please, when you do call, go straight to the point so we can accommodate all the callers. Let's see this one. This one says, I'm not really sure what purpose this is supposed to serve. Should ordinary citizens stand at the airports to prevent them from leaving, or are we just supposed to rehash the country had gospel? Pity on me. I wonder when we will get it right, because it's also your duty, your citizens' duty, to demand these things. And that's why we're talking about it. So we can be educated about it, we can be well informed about it, and then we can go out there and do the needful by holding them accountable. But let's read this other one. This one says, hello, Canada. An administration that wastes, I beg your pardon, an administration that wastes scarce resources on needless travels, cars, and renovations doesn't give a nation the best. Monies they waste should have been used to provide enabling environment for these foreign companies and investors to avoid them leaving. Nicholas Erasmus. All right. Canada, good afternoon. If all these companies are leaving Nigeria and produce their goods outside Nigeria and bring it back to this country, and I, Mr. Papilo, can buy it in a cheaper price than before, I think I'll be very happy than them being in the country and I'm still buying it very expensive. I am the consumer. But then again, you become a consuming nation, and that will be bad in the long run. Origi from Obogu, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
The allegation of the prisoners going here to work with us is not like it's a correct one.
Okay.
I have worked with them at the upgrade with the Nigeria Limited.
And they told you that they are prisoners. I mean, who says
they are prisoners? I'm telling you.
Okay.
I was a contractor there, and they were working directly with me. The man was ordinary technician, white man.
Okay.
Just a technician, but the engineer himself was a Frenchman working with us too. One of his fingers was cut. He was working with us. He told us that 5 of them were prisoners, and it's correct. So we have all it takes to work with us here. We are completely sold our conscience because of politics.
All right.
And I want to also mention to you in Canada, look, to answer mail is not the problem of Nigeria. Let all of them march together. Is it not the same 1, 5, and 6? Are they not the same people that have destroyed Nigeria from 1960 now? It's the same people that are ruling, the same line of people. Until we change the politics of Nigeria, things can never go well in Nigeria.
All right.
It's not coming to march. Who is that people coming to march with people? What were him supposed to do when he was in power? Now he's outside now telling people that the government is not good. How far is on government?
All right. Thank you, Origi. I've got to go now. I've got Ikechi from NECA. Ikechi, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good afternoon, Mr. KD.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Ikechi.
I would like to comment on G&G in Nigeria.
Okay, P&G. Okay. All right then.
Yes. See, the environment in this country has been quite unsteady. Now, let me say something. Nigeria is not a disaster.
Okay.
Nigeria is a beautiful country. What we've had is a series of rulers, not leaders. A leader can see a vision and lead the people to that place. When this administration was coming in, let me tell you something. When Bola Ahmed was governor of Lagos State, his reign as governor over there was an Owambe administration. Party every day. As you see him right there, he is a person that likes people coming around him, celebrating him, worshiping him. When he was running for local government chairman, he looked so humble, arranging chairs. It was a relative of mine telling me this. At the end of the day, look at who he is.
Where are we going with this? I'm trying to understand.
You know where we're going with this?
No, you tell me.
I'm trying to tell you the kind of individuals we have running this nation. When Obasanjo was given a lion cub the best thing he could build for a lion crop was a 3 by 3 meters concrete enclosure. That is how close-minded the rulers of this nation have been. They have kept this country like this. And instead of trying to attract investors, he is busy having 422 delegates to go 20 years that you've not had anything. All of this shows the crop of individuals we have there. He said it is his turn, and that he will play dirty to win. So what am I trying to say in essence? This is where we found ourselves. It is now up to Nigerians to decide whether they want to keep having this going or they want to see an end to it.
All right.
Because the rate this thing is going, if care is not taken, Nigeria will crash as an economy.
And we don't
But
pray.
God will
We don't pray for a crash. Then we don't pray. All right, Ikechi, thank you very much. I've got Jude from Omuma. Welcome, Jude. Let's talk.
A statement of Oshiomhole, now Senator. I have tried to grab what he said. I have not been able to make any sense out of it. Because I can't imagine any country that will release their prisoners. Not those who have been in prison and discharged, but their prisoners. Release them and bring them to Nigeria to work on the country's minimum wage. If anybody understands that, let him explain to us. But I think that is not true. And now he went further to say, a senator, if I am provoked, I will open up. For me, that's an arrant nonsense. Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because a senator, if he is talking authoritatively, and he wouldn't tell Nigerians unless or until he's provoked.
I mean, Jude, look at it from this angle. I do like how you've, how you have looked at this. However, he also said is giving the minister for interior a time to go balance things, or else if he's provoked. So that's how he said it. So he's asking the minister to go arrange his house and not provoke him, so he doesn't, come with the heavy hammer.
Yeah, Canada, I agree. But then let's look at it from this angle. We're not looking at Nigeria as a country. Is that the UK, the US, the Asian country, the Middle East, that will release their prisoners? I have my doubt.
All right then.
I have doubt, don't you?
I do.
Come and work on the country's minimum wage, not discharge prisoners.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. I've got to go now. Thank you very much for your time, Jude. On Facebook, Ikboy Kanko Dwaka says PDP and NNPP to form formidable opposition is funny. These people are funny. Do they even know the meaning of opposition? It is only in Nigeria that opposition do their opposition in a hotel. In the National Assembly, we don't see them debate. They always sign on to SUVs, funny people. For the PNG exits, we have used tax to kill them. Look, if not for Lagos State, all these countries would have left Nigeria. Why will a pad company be paying tax and condom company wouldn't pay tax? I don't get that point, but I would love you to elaborate. This one is from Magnus Ogechuku, says, Brother man, the truth is that these companies staying back till this year is a miracle. The companies have tried so much. The Nigerian economy collapsed the moment GEJ called Buhari to congratulate him on election victory. So these companies have tried. Believe me, more companies will leave soonest because there is no hope in sight. Congratulations to Nigerians. Magnus Ogechuku says again, Good afternoon, Kalada. Don't worry yourself. It is good we continue playing politics, and the day we are ready as a nation, we will know what to do. All right, let's face the WhatsApp portal now. I got a couple of messages, a ton of them. Let's see. Okay, so coalition of some political parties, or the coalition of some political parties is good, but my fear is the betrayal that might rise among them because there is hunger in the land. Confidence in Lebadim from Osuzu. Americana says, it seems we will soon go back to old days pattern where the lady will use piece of clothes for menstrual use and everybody will then resort to using charcoal to brush tooth. When will Nigeria get better? Americana is asking. But Americana, these are not only products in Nigeria. It's just that they're leaving, and the investment will also be taken back home, and that's what we are looking at. I mean, there are other companies that will also be able to produce these things, and moreover, they say they will be importing it into the country to sell. This one says, "Good afternoon, Mr. K. Adams Oshiomhole is very correct in his speech. They are mostly Korean companies in Nigeria." George with that one. All right. Let's see. Good day, Canada. There are no other ways to Nigeria's solution other than what follows. Even if the government has to do fake 365 days in a year, it would not solve our problem. In the whole world, it is most expensive to live in Nigeria. Where did you get that fact from? I need to cross-check that. But you went ahead to say now it's the most expensive to live in Nigeria now than any other part of the world. Nigeria has to go into massive industrialization of making and processing raw materials to become value for manufacturing companies. The companies exiting Nigeria are going to nations where their currency are greater. Cost of energy determines the cost of living. You cannot make cost of PMS to go from 180 naira to 630 naira and you still expect the economy to perform. This is the time for Nigerians to block all the entrance to government house from local government to state to federal and legislative houses and judiciary complex to demand that the petroleum product consumed in Nigeria be produced in Nigeria. The refinery must work. Triumph with that one. Thank you very much. This one says, "Good evening, Canada. It's quite disheartening to hear that about 5,000 jobs are going to be lost. That means the unemployment rate will definitely increase, but I must say it might not be as a result of the political situation of the country, but the area of competitive rivalries in the target market. I think innovations had made them downsize for higher products." Calvin Yobu Frank in the diaspora. Okay, if you say so. Let's see. I'm looking forward to the day I'll pick up a newspaper or tune into radio station and hear a good news coming from Nigeria. Even with this hardship, the only thing you see on news platforms are leaders playing politics. Okay. Hello, Canada. Concerning Nigerians taking interest in politics, help us and be reading these quotes to remind us on hard facts. The worst illiterate is the political illiterate. He doesn't hear, doesn't speak, nor participates in the political events. He doesn't know the cost of life, the price of the bean or the fish or the floor of the rent of the shoes and of the medicine. All depends. Okay, he doesn't know it all depends on political decisions. The political illiterate is so stupid that he's proud and swells his chest saying that he hates politics. I mean, you don't like it doesn't mean you're stupid, right? But anyways, you were trying to give me a quote, and I don't know if I should continue reading that. But let's see this other one. This one says, "PNG leaving Nigeria is no surprise to me. It is actually premeditated by the so-called cabal so they can give it to Dangote to add up to the ones already monopolized. And when that happens, Nigerians will buy the small size of toothpaste at 1,000 naira and above. God will give me money to buy as others will be buying." Thanks, Jarong, with that one. All right, and that's your own conspiracy theory. This one says, "Have we bothered to ask why GSK left? Our self-sabotaging efforts to make money at all costs was a contributory factor. Fake drugs merchants contributed to the exit of PNG. A Japanese company has just invested over 50 million naira in the same economy that PNG wants to exit. Negative news about our country gives many of us too much negative excitement. We will overcome." All right, if you say so. All right, thank you. You didn't drop your name. You said a Japanese company. I've not seen it. I've not heard of it, so I can't speak on it. But this one says PNG left because they can't compete with other players in the sector. Many of our ladies still use the always. Okay, you're asking how many of our ladies still use the always sanitary pad. There are numerous sanitary pad manufacturers in Nigeria. Same thing goes for the baby diapers. There are others and they are still thriving. There are so many other brands of toothpaste who are still doing business here and are thriving. P&G is certainly not the biggest player in that industry. The market is highly competitive and those that are here are still thriving. DJ from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much for that one. Oh my, so many messages, but I think I want to go back to the phone lines now. Okay, let's see. Okay, thank you. I will open it right now. I will open it and I'll look at it. This one says, man of the people, greetings. Looking at the way APC-led government is putting pressure on opposition states, I have come to a conclusion that APC-led federal government wants to make Nigeria a one-party system. If PDP and other political parties can together form a formidable opposition, it will be a welcome development from Elder Tango's ability at Twigbo. All right. So someone has just sent me a link to the someone has just sent me a link to the Japanese company, the story of the Japanese company coming in to invest. I'm trying to open it. The network is slow. But let's read this one. This one says, Adam's assertions. Oh my goodness. The network is crazy. All right, just go back to the phone lines because the network there is crazy. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Let's get your thoughts on what we are looking at, what we're talking about, and let's talk for development. And Citizen says Adam's assertions are so correct. You need a Rama fertilizer. My goodness, network is crazy. All right. The link you sent me is for the building of a pharmaceutical company. P&G are not into pharmaceuticals, are they? They are into, like I mentioned, Ariel, that's detergent, sanitary pad, and toothpaste. So I'm wondering. I'm reading and I'm not seeing. Well, yeah, you're trying to say that they are bringing investment into the country. I get your point. DK from Transamadi, welcome. Welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, DK, welcome.
This is DK after a very long time.
Yeah, I know. Welcome on the show. It's good to have you. On the show.
I want to ask, foreign prisoners are working in Nigeria.
So they say.
And perhaps Nigerians are answering the master or sir. Is a country like Nigeria looking for foreign investment supposed to bother about that?
How do you mean?
Are we supposed to bother about that? Whether those bringing investment to Nigeria are prisoners or not? That's the question.
Okay.
We are looking for foreign investment.
Okay.
And some companies in Nigeria are even living.
Okay.
Plus 1 minus 1. What is it?
Plus
and
1.
we're living in a worse condition than that.
Okay.
So why are we complaining? Nigeria is a dumping ground. We should know that. Not only of material goods, but other things like these prisoners. So that's the situation.
All right.
Good leadership. It is my turn. Emeloko. Thank you.
Okay, I've got Bob from Malfour. Bob, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, please, I want to comment on this P&G in Nigeria.
All right, quickly, please.
For me, that means it's disastrous because this it didn't start now. You can remember Michelin several years ago. Michelin is employing. Now, Glasgow Smith Line have left. P&G too. P&G is a major manufacturer of personal hygiene products. There's even, I think they have a popular brand of this Pampers women use for their kids. They didn't mention it anyway. So, as they have left now, Nigerian consumers will still need those products. So if they
no, they all see that. I think they have alternatives. All right,
and that will be more stress on the naira.
All right.
Against the dollar.
All right.
It will increase the demand for dollar and put more stress on the naira. So they cited diminishing purchasing power.
Oh my goodness, we lost the connection there. Bobby, if you can hear me, maybe we'll talk about this during the open season because it's almost time for the business news. But he mentioned a declined purchasing power. For like investment is difficult. So I'm hoping that the person who sent in that link to talk about the Japanese company contracting